Chapter 1. The Cure for Broken Dreams. His age was still in single digits when his father left. He and his dying mother were penniless, and before he could shave, he made his way alone. The pain of being abandoned has been pervasive, and the hardship has lasted a lifetime. Her father came to her bed almost every night from the time she was 9 years old. Twice she tried to be a wife and failed. She is aged now, bitter and lonely. Their only daughter was raped and killed by a neighbor. The possible last moments of her life are replayed in their minds over and over again. Years later, productivity and contentment still evade them. The names of those who are so hurt have not been given here because their name is legion. Mortals are wretchedly wounded by the sins of their fellow beings. It must have been heartrending for our Father in heaven to know that allowing agency would result in unbidden horror for some of his children, and a degree of sorrow for all of them. Nevertheless, agency is an essential element of this second estate. Without it, there could be no real test, and therefore no opportunity to pass the test. Sadly, the freedom to hurt others is inherent in this necessary state. But our Father in heaven is committed to more than just agency. He has an equal commitment to justice, not just the justice that means punishment of a perpetrator, but also the justice that means the honoring of victims' rights. He is pledged to see that victims are able to receive a judgment that guarantees them wholeness and full restitution. That is the justice that makes agency a perfect plan. Perfect not because it is a painless plan. We all know that isn't the case, but because it provides the test without permanent damage. All damage can be completely overcome by the supreme energy of an infinite atonement. God the Father has, in the power of his Son's mercy, the miracle of total healing, the miracle of unlimited justice. How that must have comforted him as he placed us here. He could require us to endure to the end because he and his Son were committed to making it possible for there to be an end to suffering, an end to hurt, an end to the fall itself. The knowledge that the atonement provides the doorway to complete fairness is a source of peace and quietude. But we need to understand justice, to know what fairness means, so that we can rely on that comfort and let it penetrate our souls. If we do not understand it, we won't trust in it. We will not be able to forgive or feel forgiveness. We may retreat from risk and limit the joy in relationships. Without understanding justice, we may be able to endure mortal trial, but we probably will not be able to endure it well. And having enough trust to rely on divine justice is a challenge for mankind. The pain of being victims overwhelms us. The fear of facing life with our pains can be paralyzing and makes us feel hopeless. Life feels unfair. In order to feel the fairness of the Lord's justice system, we have to take a leap of faith. But facing that leap, we experience a moment of hesitation. Perhaps the best example of this hesitation comes from our ancient ancestors. The Old Testament seems an unlikely place to turn for a peaceful understanding of the atonement, considering our predisposition to think of the Old Testament as harsh. But the blueprint for peace is there. The fear of the ancient Israelites was not really so different from that which all of us feel when we lack understanding. They were simply afraid. They were unable to see the hope and comfort that being in the presence of God would bring. So God gave to Moses a law that contained the elements of perfect justice, so that people could learn what was required for fairness and integrity of the order. Then, with the promise that a loving master would go with them to the judgment and ensure that justice would be done, he invited them to embark on a journey toward the understanding that would bring them peace. Paul told the people of his day that the law of Moses was a schoolmaster that would bring them to Christ, and it is still that. Those who, even today, experience the fear and anguish left by those who hurt them can use the ancient schoolmaster to help them understand and look forward to the justice of the atonement, with its thorough healing and perfect fairness. And once this kind of justice is understood, consolation and reassurance will be found there. With that help, we can develop a hope that trades our nightmares for sweet rest. With that help, we can have that rest on a profound level, or, as C.S. Lewis said, "For broken dreams, the cure is dream again, and deeper."